Woo! Good morning, fowl players. We are out here again in the big hole on about day 3 or 4 of trying to clear it out. It's April 22nd, 2024. Trying to stay on target for my June 1st planting date of Chihuahua millet here in our little waterfowl impoundment. But I wanted to pause after posting the last couple of videos, particularly when we were draining the swamp. I wanted to talk a little bit about your methodology and how you should approach draining a waterfowl impoundment, because it's kind of dependent on what your goals are for the season. So typically what I would prefer to do, I would actually prefer this to still be underwater all the way up until maybe late May, early June. Right about that time I want to start planting. But the reason why I drew it down so early and so fast is because of the videos you've been seeing the last couple months. Basically, I still had work to do in here. So I needed to get water off of the ground and to try to get it dried out so I can get, my four-wheeler in and out. It's borderline still too wet. We had rain all day yesterday. But that's my goal. If I was an established impoundment that wasn't going to need any type of heavy-duty work, then I would leave water on it longer. Also, what I did is kind of in conflict with what some of you may have heard around moist soil habitat management, right? Those moist soil plants that provide a lot of food for ducks, your native vegetations like your smartweeds and some of your barnyard grasses, your wild millets, sedges, things that naturally grow in these seasonal wetlands, right? Something that probably floods with the rains in the wintertime and then slowly dries up throughout the late spring and into early summer, right? So typically, if you're doing moist soil habitat management, you really don't want to start taking water off until the very early part of the growing season, which is after your last frost date. Now, for me here in central North Carolina, that's April 15th. That's only a week ago. So if I was trying to manage for moist soil habitat, I would have left water on until right about now, really, and I would have been bringing it down slowly. Just a few inches a day, a few inches a week, letting that water slowly recede out of here as much as I can, because then you get multiple growth spurts, if you will, of vegetation. You might get a really strong crop of barnyard grass in one, with your early drawdown, but then it gets like super hot and cocklebur pops up, right? Kind of mid part of your drawdown. If you drew it all down at once, like I have done here, what can happen? Yeah, you might hit the lottery and get just a beautiful lush crop of smartweed and barnyard grass, but you also might end up with a bunch of cocklebur or woolgrass. Woolgrass takes longer to establish, I think. What's another? Sesbania, coffee bean, coffee weed, I think is what we call it, Sesbania, which will grow up here, and a small amount can provide thermal cover, but it provides no food for ducks whatsoever. So I wanted to share that just because as I watched my video and listened to some of the stuff I mentioned, Dr. Mike Schumer before at the Foul Weather Podcast, he's got a series going on right now. It's Monday. He probably dropped a new one today on managing your duck impoundments. If you're managing a duck impoundment, go watch it right now. Go listen to Dr. Mike Schumer at the Foul Weather Podcast right now, because he is awesome and has a lot of great information. He has a lot of experience in this as well, right? He's a doctor in waterfowl and biology, right? So anyway, I ramble on, but I wanted to make sure that some of you that are watching that gosh, have even less experience than me, don't think, oh, I got to get in there early and dry that sucker out. A lot of places do that. And if you've got 20 acres and you got to get a big tractor in there to plant corn or whatever the heck it is, you might have to. I'm just saying, if you can, you want to leave water on as long as you can. Because when I came in here in March to start draining it, there were ducks in here. Not a bunch, a few wood ducks. I had a greenhead fly over me, but there were ducks here. And I would love to be able to keep that water on as long as possible to keep them coming to this spot. I just couldn't do it because I had to get in here at work. So keep that in mind. Keep the water on as long as you can. And if you're going to do moist soil habitat, if you don't want to invest in seed or don't have the ability to get it out there, that drawdown, that slow drawdown, really in the first 45 days of the growing season, which the beginning of the growing season is defined as after your last frost date. Go look that up. You're gonna find it really quickly on the internet, what your last frost date is. And then when that last date comes, like I said, try to draw down just a few inches every week. Let that water recede slowly. Even if you keep wet spots, I like keeping the water in the ditch through here because it just keeps some moisture around, right? So just wanted to share that with you. I didn't want to leave anybody with the wrong impression that a quick and early drawdown is the best way to do it, because it's probably truly the wrong way to do it if you're focusing purely on habitat improvement. I'm not here. I'm still working on clearing and opening the hole up. My hope is to get it all the work done this year, and I'll leave water on here until almost June next year. And then I can come in and you know, millets love to just be thrown on mud, right? So it'll be super easy. All right, that's it. Just kind of want to share those thoughts with you. What to keep in mind if you're managing your waterfowl impoundment. Say that 5 times real fast. Thanks for watching. Once again, as always, I'm Bruce. Rosie's standing right over there, and you're watching Fowl Play Outdoors.